I play in the parks. I've gotten to play in some of these worlds. It is still thrilling to me, and it is an honor that I get to be here with you this morning talking about where Disney is today, where it is going, with the person leading the charge. Please welcome our CEO, Josh D'Amaro. Good morning.
Good morning. You look great, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. I wear these all the time. This is not just for this. This weekend has been incredible. And I have to tell you, I mean, you know I'm a Disney nut.
I know you are.
This never gets old.
Nope, not for me either.
Oh, good, because I'm gonna ask you all the questions.
Good.
All right, let's go. You have been at Disney for 28 years.
Yep.
You have spent 5 months as CEO. Why is Disney still special to you? And then the second part of this question is, why do you think it's still special to all the rest of us?
Well, first of all, thank you for doing this, and thank you for wearing the ears. I love it. It's still strange to me to hear Josh and CEO come out of your mouth, because I've been here for 30 years. And I started at an entry-level position at Disneyland in 1998. And before that, and I said this on stage during the entertainment showcase, I loved Disney growing up. I visited the parks with my family. I remember those moments so clearly. They truly have stuck with me. So I've been a fan first for my entire life. And then to come and actually work for the company in 1998, the moment I got inside the walls, it's cool to be working for Disney, but more importantly, the people, the cast members, the leaders behind the scenes, these are folks that actually care about this place, care about the company, care about the fans in a real, genuine way. And to be here at D23, and it takes a lot of work to pull an event like this off, but to see the fandom, to see the rewards of all the hard work that's been put into making these places and making these stories as special as they are, there's nothing like it. I mean, when you see the company on full display for these fans and the fans expressing themselves in such special ways and being able to come out on a stage and tell them what's new and where we're heading in the future, it is just spectacular.
And I feel like you can, as an employee, I feel it in all of the different areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now there's a famous line, when a team wins the Super Bowl, I'm going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I love that when you were named CEO, you actually did this, and you and Bob Iger went to Disneyland, you spent time with fans, and as aforementioned, the fans being so important to you, you've always made a point of meeting with them throughout your career. But why has staying close to them been so important?
Well, I'll start with the I'm going to Disneyland thing first, because that was it was a really cool moment. So when Bob called me in to tell me that I was going to be the next CEO of the company, obviously that was an incredibly emotional moment for me. And one of the first things I said to him is, Bob, can we go to Disneyland together? And it's just really fun to walk around any of these places with Bob Iger, because everybody stops him and says hello. And so we did. We actually walked around Disneyland and said hello to as many fans and cast members as we possibly could. And for those of you in the room today that know me, and many of you do, you know that I grew up on the park side of the business. And if I wasn't in a meeting, I was out in those parks walking around, not with a posse of people with me, but just myself, to speak with the guests and the fans and the cast members, to hear their stories, to hear their hopes, to hear sometimes even their concerns. If somebody wanted something done better or they didn't like something we were going to do, they would express that to me. And I think, to your question, for any leader, quite frankly, there's nothing more important than staying in direct touch with who your consumer is, who your fan is, and what they want. And aside from just the kind of the discipline of doing that, making sure that you're in connection with what the fans want, for me, it's like a total energy boost. Sometimes in these roles, you have a lot of things you have to deal with, but standing in front of a fan, hearing their personal story, like your tank just gets filled right back up. And again, that's why D23 for me, and I know for the fans, is just such a special thing.
I love this. Switching gears a little bit, but also because this very much has to do with the business of running things. As you know, you may not know, I have a 10-year-old who was given a take your kids to work day on Zootopia 2. And after seeing all of these incredible artists at work, my 10-year-old walked out of the building and he said, I know what I want to be when I grow up. And I thought he was going to say a voiceover actor, an animator. And he goes, I want to be the chief financial officer of Disney.
Oh my gosh.
And by the way, I'm an actor, so I had to look up what all that meant. But I feel like I have to ask
you. Did you shake him?
I was like, thank God you're smarter than your husband, than your father and I are. But so I feel like I have to ask a question on his behalf, which is, when you look across Disney today, what do you see as the biggest opportunities for growth?
That's a good one. Well, first of all, it's a smart kid.
Yeah.
I think I actually started at Disneyland back in 1998 as a person in finance, just trying to find my way. So let's
Yes, please.
The two of us up. So maybe a few things here. First of all, and I was clear on this when I first started this role, there are three things that are really important to me at the highest level. The first is that we are a company that tells the world's best stories, and I will never relent on that. So making sure that we're making great films like Zootopia, making sure that we're making the next attraction that just blows people away, the next Broadway show that pulls people in, like that. As simple as it sounds, that has to be the focus of all leaders, quite frankly, at the Disney company. So that's number one. Number two, we're at this place now. We're in the intersection of technology and media. I don't think it's ever been more relevant and more powerful. And this company, the Walt Disney Company, has always thrived in these moments, all the way back to Walt, as he was thinking about film and how to change how films are made, or Disneyland and animatronics. So we're in this moment where I want to push in to the technology that's available to us, marry it with this beautiful story making, and push the company forward. And then finally, we're the Walt Disney Company. We're not ESPN and streaming and theme parks and movies. We're the Walt Disney Company. And for anyone that's looking around contextually at the entertainment landscape right now, it kind of looks like people are trying to look like Disney. Like, I'll try to buy some of this stuff and that stuff. And for us, we have all of that. We have the best IP in the world. We have the best collection of businesses in the world. We have scale around the globe like nobody else has. And we have talent that everyone wishes they had. So if we now pull this whole company together in one and show up as one company, wherever that is, Disney Plus or in a theme park or at a place like D23, no one can compete with us. No, there's nothing like the Walt Disney Company when we operate as one.
Yes, and there's actually that term, One Disney. So it's a huge company, like you said. There's movies, television, streaming. I have to look at this list because there's so many things. Movies, television, streaming, sports, parks, cruises, games, consumer products. So what does bringing that together then, though, make possible?
Well, I think each of these businesses that you're talking about here, they stand on their own. Like, streaming is a fantastic business, and look what's happened just over the last 3-4 years or so. It went from a business that was just starting and wasn't making any money to a business that's now making a lot of money and has great margins. Our movies business, like the slate, which you all saw at the entertainment showcase, is beautiful. We have so many great things coming on that front. And I could go on and on. Each of the businesses alone are great, but together, when we deliver to our fans a seamless, comprehensive experience with us, it's great for them as a fan, and it's great for us as a business. And it's so great to be having this conversation sitting here at D23, because if you go walk the floor, that is the expression of One Disney. That's what it is. And so maybe in simplest terms, if you think about Disney Plus today, think about Disney Plus as D23, the streaming version of what happens at D23. Wouldn't that be amazing? where our fans can experience everything, not just best in class, videos, but gaming and merchandise and theme parks and etc. So there's a real opportunity for us to operate, build our organization, operate, communicate as one Disney. And again, I don't think there's any other business, any other company, any other brand in the world that's capable of doing that.
Well, and speaking of the world, it's one of the things that strikes me, of course, about Disney is how global it is. There are people here this weekend from all over the world, including in this room.
Yeah.
So when you look outside of the US, where do you see the biggest opportunity?
So if we rewind the tapes a little bit and we go back to when Bob Iger became CEO, one of his top priorities was to expand internationally. He saw a big opportunity for Disney to show up in other parts of the world outside of the US. And that's come to fruition. So now, like across the globe, we have so much scale. We have parks now around the globe. We have streaming services around the globe. We have Broadway shows around the globe. So we've made a lot of progress on that front, but there's still obviously room to grow. Our cruise business, I think, is a great example of our opportunity. These cruise ships are kind of like the best ambassador for our brand you can possibly have, and we can float them out essentially to new markets and invite people into our stories and into our Disney family, so to speak. Similarly, as streaming has started to grow in these international markets, we're bringing people into what we do, and by virtue of that, not just through streaming, but through streaming, you get to introduce them to all of the other businesses as well. And we're focused here. So one of the things that's going to be important for me is to continue to invest in international markets. We're focused on developing content that is specific to these markets so that we can draw more people in. But the footprint is large today, and it's only going to expand over time.
Now, you mentioned the stories.
Mm-hmm.
Disney has an indescribably incredible library of stories. Characters people already know and love. Avengers, Frozen, Toy Story. I hope we can put Zootopia in there.
We can.
On that list. And at the same time, so you're constantly developing new. So what do you think about the balance between building on what people know and love versus new original content?
There's a place for both. There's always been a place for both. I see some of my friends over here who have known me for a long time from my theme parks days. These fans are true fans. And so the question of how do you balance those two things is an important one. If we move something in a theme park, for example, or we're building a new attraction on top of an attraction that means something to someone, that's a hard thing to balance. But what I do think is important, and Walt's been our guide for this, for 100 years, is that we keep moving forward, that we introduce new things to the world, that we take some risk. And we've been really good about doing that. I think that showed up in both of the panels that you saw on Friday night and Saturday night. You see Zootopia coming out again, and some of these big franchises that mean so much to people. We'll keep extending them and telling brilliant stories. Toy Story 5, amazing. Just crossed the $1 billion mark and means so much to so many people around the world. At the same time, you'll see us push on brand new intellectual property. Hoppers, for example, what a breakout success that was. You see Pixar getting into the ghost theme. I thought, by the way, that was fantastic that we saw the other night. So we will, Hext is another example, Clay another example. So we'll always have this balance between making sure that we're giving fans what they want for these franchises they love so much, and then stepping out and introducing brand new franchises, brand new stories that are relevant to another generation, so that kind of flywheel effect keeps going. It's the same on the park side as well, and you saw that. You saw us pay tribute to some of the classic attractions last night, and then you see us breaking new ground, taking out a parking lot, for example,
Yeah.
and putting new Avengers stories into our theme parks. So we'll always push on that balance. We'll make sure that we respect legacy,
Yes.
what is so meaningful to people around the world, and at the same time take some really big, audacious steps into the future.
Yes. Well, I have to say, by the way, you mentioned, you know, using Walt as like a compass.
Yeah.
I remember being really struck reading one of his biographies about how he would blatantly start over on whatever it was. There would be some
All the
idea.
time.
And I, as an actor, I obviously don't get as, like, I don't totally get to see, like, you know, the wizard behind the curtain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I don't know all the ins and outs of how all the things work. However, in my experience, Disney is the only place where as an actor, I'm part of something where the group think 2 years into creating something, maybe, we're gonna start over because this can be better.
Yeah.
And when I talk to my peers, I don't hear about this mindset anywhere else. That is, we can do better, and also the best idea in the room wins.
Mm-hmm.
And like ego has to be chucked, but that we're always going to like double down on if it's not working, or if we just think that it could be.
We're gonna start again.
Yeah, we'll just make it better.
That is a real thing inside of this company. We always have to be striving for perfection.
Yeah.
We're not always going to hit it, but that does need to be the goal. I'll go back to the 1998. I started with the company. My team has heard this story a million times before, but I think it's important and constructive to this idea. So I sat in my first meeting at Disneyland, and there were 10 of us in the room, and there was construction taking place on Main Street. And the construction on Main Street was going to create kind of an issue where guests had to navigate around this piece of construction. And the debate was where the trash can's going to go. And I can remember sitting in the room thinking, are you kidding me? I just showed up at the Disney company and we're talking about trash cans. But what struck me as I think about it now is the level of detail, the level of excellence, the level of concern for that fan experience. That's what we're talking about. It's that level of detail. And on a more grand scale, as you think about, for example, all the things that the Imagineers talked about in the showcase last night, all these new things that they're going to build, you see kind of a close to final product, but what happens before that is so much rigor, so much debate, and a lot of things, actually most things, are scrapped. They're just put on the floor, and we say it's just not good enough. And we're going to start over and do it again. Similarly, now that I have so much more exposure to the movie side of the business and the television side of the business, it's the same thing. I get to screen a movie now and say, I just don't like it. Or I love it, more of that. But it has to be perfect. It's got to be right for our fans.
Yeah.
And we take that very, very seriously. And that's when you do that, what do you get? Trust.
Absolutely.
You get connection, you get belief, and that's what this company is ultimately
Yes,
all
that's
about.
why though I can take my kids to any Disney release, and I know that reliably I'm gonna have a great time and probably ugly cry. And I also know, people ask me all the time about like how much my family goes to the parks. Probably once a month.
Okay.
And people ask about like the actor perks, and like I'm not gonna lie, like Disney makes me feel like an actual princess. But the truth is, my favorite thing is showing up and nobody knows I'm coming. I don't call Disney and ask to be taken care of. I know I am going to have a perfect day with my family. And I don't need to be like treated like an actress. I just want to be a park goer with my family. And yeah, those trash cans are always convenient and everything's always very clean. And I'm glad that there's that attention to detail.
Jennifer, by the way, next time you can call me.
Everybody, even my husband sometimes is like, why don't you just call? Like, I just want to show up. It's gonna be delightful. We're gonna have the best day ever. And it doesn't have to be because I'm an actress being taken care of by Disney. Being a park goer is delightful.
It is. In this role, it's a little bit more difficult for me to do.
I bet.
But I would typically just sneak in.
Right?
And again, some of you have seen me sneak in before. It's a little more difficult to do now. But to your point, like, there's nothing like a unscripted, real-time, feeling of what this company is. And so I'm actually so glad that you do it. You can call me,
Well, no,
but I'm glad that you do it that way, and I try my best to do the same.
And I also love, by the way, I buy tickets to go see the movies. Like, I saw Zootopia in theaters like 12 times. And I don't mean like I went to Disney screenings. I mean,
Such a good film.
we bought, thank you. We bought tickets and we went, and I just wanted to be in the audience and see, like, what are they laughing at? Like, what moves them? When are they cheering?
Yeah.
Like, because I also feel like you get that Disney audibility, or whatever the word would be. Like, we're vocal audience members. And
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, back on track. And having done my research for my future CFO son, thank you very much. Well, not back on track, we're still gonna talk about me being a fan. You spent the whole weekend seeing everything along with everyone else, so on top of Zootopia 3. What was the moment when you personally were like, I can't wait to see that or experience that? What have you seen this weekend that was like, what's your
hard.
what are
That's
thoughts?
kind of not a fair question. Whatever I say, somebody's going to be like, well, why wasn't it my thing? It's all thing. I mean, it's all of them. And, you know, as I said before, just being in this environment, having the opportunity to step out on that stage or sit back and watch the amazing leaders and cast members and Imagineers and creators that we have talk about what they're passionate about, and then seeing the crowd react.
Yes.
And it's not like it's strange. Like, it's some of the things you think people are going to go wild on, and then other things just kind of blow up. So it's
right.
It's all of it together. I mean, I'm excited about the films. You know, I think Doomsday is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm equally excited about all the new stories that you saw expressed. The Greatest Showman. I mean, geez. I mean, this, like, so many good things.
Yes.
And then across all the parks. Thomas said this on stage last night. There is more going on right now than in any time in our history. And that's a big deal. Like, we've got a global footprint in every single piece of our business. There is dirt moving, there is steel being bent, there are characters being developed. So I can't give you one because I'm honestly excited about it.
That's amazing. Well, and just so you know, if there
Goes
was
Utopia.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
If there was like a feedback box, I would put this in the feedback box. So
Okay.
I took my kids to the presentation on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that they would be, excited to see their mom on stage, I was hoping, and that they would, I knew that they would respond to things like the Marvel reveals and anything Star Wars related. They're at they're 10 and 12, and I was like, they're gonna eat this up, and they're the first looks. What shocked me, so this is my thing in the comment box, is whatever it is y'all are, that is a great event, because my kids came home excited to have seen the directors, and I'm like, you're 10 and 12, like what, that's the thing that you responded to, or Greatest Showman and Camp Rock and properties that they are not actually familiar with.
Yeah.
They were like, well, Mom, are you gonna take us to see that?
Yeah.
And we wanna watch Camp Rock now? And like, they were exhilarated by things that they've never been exposed to. And from hearing from all of you, the executives getting up and talking made them feel so special.
Well, the executives getting up and talking, I think there's getting up and talking, and then there's getting up and being actually who you are. And
Yes.
I think, back to the whole fandom of this all, what I believe, deep inside of my heart, what our fans care about is that they see not just directors, not just a CEO, but they see people.
Yeah.
And people that are actually fans themselves and are going to do their best and, shoot for perfection and excellence. And I think when you see that on a stage, you believe, and you want to be part of what it is that they're talking about. So it's a pretty special thing. By the way, like, Figment.
Oh.
It's unbelievable. Or the Yeti. It's crazy, right? So these are just things that people are passionate about.
Yes.
Get this massive crowd reaction, which I love.
And I love it, so thank you. You talked in the beginning about did you talk about your first visit to Walt Disney World?
I did. Well, I talked about that on stage.
Yeah, but not today. Your first visit, and it's staying with you.
Yeah, and I think I said on stage, everybody's got their version of this, but you step inside of one of these theme parks, or you're in a theater, with your family for the first time. It's a meaningful moment if it's done right. And at Walt Disney World, I came in the early '80s with my family, and sitting here right now, I remember the colors, I remember where we were standing, I remember my father getting aggravated because he wanted popcorn. I remember it clear as day, and you can't help but in that moment feel like this is a different thing.
Yeah.
There's something special about it. It's funny. I was just in my room last night as I was getting ready for bed and the day in front of us today, and you hear the sounds. I'm at the Grand Cal. You hear the sounds of the theme park outside of your room, and just that kind of like brings you right back to like not the executive at Disney, not the CEO, but like wow, this place is something. It means something to me, to fans, to the world.
Yeah.
It's pretty special. By the way, I remember my first film that the first time I ever went to a movie theater, 1977, you know what movie it was, with my father, Star Wars. Right, so all these things, back to this idea of one Disney, like they're all connected and now put back together in a way that, again, there's nothing like the Walt Disney Company. Nothing.
Now, a generation from now,
Mm-hmm.
what do you hope is still true about Disney? Part 1, part 2, what do you hope is different?
That's a big one. I hope that whoever's sitting here or whoever's sitting out there feels the same in their heart about the company, the way they feel about the company today. It's pure, it's joy, it's happiness, it's optimism, it's innovative, it's forward-looking, it's legacy. Like, I hope that's still, it will be, because I know the people inside of this company, it will be all of those things. And, more and more, the world needs a place like Disney, a brand like Disney, where everybody's welcome. Everybody can come on in, you can kind of escape from everything else that's going on and feel really good.
Yeah.
So I never want that to change. At the same time, I think that we need to take that same core feeling and make sure that we're bringing it to new fans and new parts of the world. You've seen us, for example, get into the gaming space. Why get into the gaming space? By the way, amazing reactions at the panel on that too. But we want to make sure that these stories carry into new generations where they're discovering characters and storytelling in ways that make complete sense to them, so that they then take the next step and from a gaming environment, now I want to go back to the OG. I want to go to Disneyland, a place that was built in 1955 and is where all of this started. It's why you see us lean into TikTok, for example. These big worlds, even outside of our kind of set of businesses and ecosystem, we want to make sure that we're there, where creators are and where younger fans are taking in stories. And I know if they see some of our great stories, what are they going to do next? They're going to want to participate more. They're going to come to Disney Plus. They're going to come into our theme parks. They're going to want to go to the theater. So, Walt was exceptional about throwing everything, not everything out, but being willing to take a next step into something that the world had never seen before. And I think the possibility of holding on to who you are and what you are, but still stepping into the unknown, that's what Disney is. So that's what I hope for. I hope that we'll 10 years, we'll be having a conversation like this. There'll be a whole new generation out there, but they feel exactly the same.
Oh, I love it. I have faith. It's going to happen.
It's absolutely going to happen.
Well, thank you for this. This has been a joy.
Thanks for being such a good fan, a great fan, I should say. Congratulations on Zootopia. This is going to be fun in the next chapter, and now you have to come every year.
Oh yes, no, I'm in.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.